together, we can rule the galaxy far from sun.
Hey, Star Wars fans and Rule of the Galaxy friends, is Joe and Brent this lovely morning. And it has been a while since we have spoken to our good friend Brent. Life has become hectic and crazy with the Rule of the Galaxy podcast crew. So this is chapter 334, I think. I've got to go back and look at my notes of the Rule of the Galaxy podcast. I know Brent says, "Why am I so into numbers?" I don't know. It just seems like something we should say. But it's Rule of the Galaxy. We're back. We're gonna have a little show with just Brent and I this morning, and let's go from there. But enough of me. How you doing, Brent? Been a long time.
I mean, I am doing well, but honestly, I think you get like the first couple minutes, you get all wrapped up in like what number we're at. Let's just put it this way: it's been 5 years, and no one thought it would go that far. I'm doing well, as you said. The summer, as a lot of people think, maybe like, hey, it's going to be a more relaxing time. No. At least in Indiana, where they do balanced calendar and the summer break for schools and educators, and for students as well. So families have to try to pack as much as you can in between the dates of June 1 and July 30. So it's not like the three best reasons to be a teacher are June, July, and August. At least in Indiana anymore, it's June and July. There's a teacher friend that I know in the area that will have worked all 12 months this year.
Wow.
So, like, they ended school in June and they will go back in July. So they really didn't have the summers are not necessarily what they are used to now. And then other people are like, man, they get so much time off. Okay, you come deal with some high school kids, because that's the other thing you always hear is like, I don't know how you guys do it. It's like, we don't want to pay you, but we don't know how you do it. So
It is a sharp edged sword. The whole teacher time, what they deal with, all that kind of stuff. I can see from everybody's angle on it. It was funny. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, "Hey, we're thinking about going to see a movie coming up soon on a Sunday
school.
afternoon."
Oh.
And the person said, "Well, my wife starts school back up on Monday, and so she really doesn't want to do anything." I said, "I go to work every Monday. I do stuff on Sundays." And he was like, "Oh, that's rough. That's rough." I was like, "Well, I'm just saying." She said 2 months of Mondays off. She can go to a movie on Sunday. So
I thought you were gonna say it's a school night, like, because if you're trying to do something on like a
no,
Tuesday night
no.
during the school week, no man, like school, it's a school night, man. You can't do anything fun. You can't go to like concerts or movies during the week
Uh,
because you're gonna pay the price the next day.
it is that is one thing, and especially as you get older, doing stuff on a weeknight, whether you're a teacher or you just go to a regular other job, when people are like, "Oh, let's go to this concert Tuesday night," you start going, "What? Tuesday night? That means I won't get home till midnight or 1 a.m. What do you mean go to a concert on Tuesday night?" Yeah. Hey, we're not in our 20s anymore, Brent.
I mean, I'm not as good as I once was.
Well, we try. We try. Um, Brent, is there anything standing out to you in Star Wars that you're like, wow, these are great topics to cover in right now?
I mean, so you say that, and since I am the backdrop, as you notice, I'm the only one that has like a rotating backdrop. I feel my current backdrop is I'm in school, and I now have two computers. So I'm
Mm.
talking to you on one, and I'm looking at the other one, and pulled up Star Wars news, and so if you see me turning my head, it was because I was just kind of scrolling the Star Wars news page. Um, as
Well,
far
you
as
bring the notes guy. You be the notes guy this time. What are you
I
seeing?
I don't have any notes. Are you kidding me, Joe? That would mean preparation. Um, yeah. So I'm not 100% positive. Like, is there anything that's on the top of your head?
I know
about
everybody's talking about San Diego Comic-Con. I mean,
San Diego Comic-Con. Who's gonna be there? Do you have any celebrity lists? Let me see.
I do not. You do that. I'll ramble while you type, but I've seen our good friend Mark Newbold posting all kinds of pictures and things coming up, and I'm like, man, San Diego Comic Con looks fun.
Oh, so that's where the picture came from. So you shared into our group chat a picture of Mark Newbold with a relative of yours who we talked to at the Indianapolis Indians game.
Oh,
Was
that was yeah. Matt, Uncle Matt was at Lucas. He was at Skywalker Ranch.
Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah,
Interesting. All
yeah. So
right.
we now have someone in the mix here. But well, Mark Newbold's been to Skywalker Ranch. I'm sure Adam Bray has been to Skywalker Ranch, but now my Uncle Matt has been to Skywalker Ranch. So we're this close.
Yeah, right. We're this close to greatness, right? Right. 6 degrees of separation. So essentially, I've been to Skywalker Ranch,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Like, if you look at it that way, I'm at Skywalker Ranch. There we go. Autographs. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume there's gonna be some small announcements of some kind. I know they put some pictures of Darth Maul and what he's gonna look like in the new animated series that they're working on. I know there's been
Yeah.
talk of Ahsoka, and I think you'll see some things related to that.
I apologize. Yeah.
That's all
So
right.
on Star Wars news, there was something about the mall show,
Mm-hmm.
and it said like the tagline again. I'm just looking at and reacting to headlines. The headline said "scarier than we thought" or something like that. Scarier than we thought it was. First looks make it seem like it's going to be scary. I don't know about that, but sure.
Well, I did see that, and I think we quoted this before. Maul is not going to be good guys versus bad guys. It's going to be bad guys versus worse guys, is what they're phrasing it as.
Okay. Okay. So what are we thinking? Syndicate? Are we thinking like are we gonna get a Dryden Law or
Oh, yeah, I would
Kira
think
and
so.
a Kira and Dryden Voss? Do you think it's gonna be in that timeline?
It's got to be
Or is it gonna
because
be the early on assembling of that kind of like Death Watch, not Death Watch, but like yeah, it's Death Watch.
I think you're going to see
Crimson Dawn.
the time between when we see him in the end of Clone Wars, where the end of Clone Wars where he got taken away, but then the Emperor had already told him he had other plans for him, and then when he shows back up in Rebels. So I think it's going to be in between those two time frames. That would
Okay.
be my guess. And at that time they were putting all that together, and then of course Solo occurred when he was in charge of that syndicate, but that was between Clone Wars and Rebels when he
Yeah.
was
I
dealing
mean,
with
yeah.
Kira. Yeah.
But that was like and this is where timelines, Joe.
Oh, it sucks. I know.
I am not a smart man, but I know what love is. I feel like Forrest Gump a lot. Timelines get me
Mm,
so messed in the head because was Infant's Nest and Solo closer to A New Hope and Rogue One, or was it further away? Because it's all within an Andor. So Andor,
hmm
Solo, Rogue One are all right there,
And Rebels.
and Rebels are all right there. Like Rebels and
hmm
Andor are almost simultaneous. But where is Solo? Is Solo simultaneous in that same level, or was it before?
I'm looking that up right now.
So that's where like it always gets in my head. I I hate that stories are told out of order because then all that does is jumble that up too, and all it does is create these conversations of where exactly in timeline order are these things happening.
So, Solo movie is before Star Wars Rebels. Specifically, Solo is set approximately 10 years before A New Hope, while Rebels begins 5 years before A New Hope.
And
And
well, so then
Andor is about the same. Andor is 5 down to. So, yes, Rebels Andor running simultaneously. Solo was 5 years before those two. So Clone Wars ended right after Revenge of the Sith, the series. So Revenge
Okay.
of the Sith and Clone Wars, boom,
Yeah.
they
Well,
end.
yeah. Essentially, I mean,
Yeah,
you got looping in different parts of the
correct.
season, but the entirety of that season picks up right after Clone Wars. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, so I'm gonna say that sweet spot right there. It's probably gonna be concurrent with Solo. Then it's gonna be in that.
And so
We
Obi-Wan's right there too. Then
yeah, I'm gonna look that up while we're talking as
because
well.
Kenobi's right there because Kenobi starts when he's cutting up the whale in the middle of the desert, whatever it is. You know exactly what I'm saying.
Yes,
When he's cutting up the whale, it said it was 10 years. 10 years before, or no, I don't know if it was 10 years before, but it was 10 years after.
it would make sense for it to be 10 years before because I think Luke and Leia were around 19 years old
19.
in
I
A
think
New
that was,
Hope.
yeah, yeah.
Obi-Wan series is set after the events of Solo, the Star Wars story. Specifically, the series takes place 9 years before the Battle of Yavin, while Solo is set around 10 years for the Battle of Yavin.
So they're pretty concurrent. Like, let's not, like, that's like splitting hairs.
Yes. But man, they are putting a lot of meat on that bone between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, for sure. So that's interesting. I mean, you've got a 5 year countdown basically with Rebels, a 5 year countdown basically with Andor, 10 years out Solo, 9 years out Kenobi, yeah, and 19 years between or so, 19 or so years between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. See, you thought we wouldn't have anything to talk about, Brent. Brent, I don't have it with me. It's in the other room. So not only do I have the Tantive 4, the Blockade Runner Lego set, but I bought an R2D2 Lego set. I've become a Lego guy. And now it's saying you're offline. So it's just me talking to myself.
We have hope. Hope that things will get better. And they will. Especially since you're listening to Rule the Galaxy podcast.
This is a time, folks, when we do the Joe by himself talking about Star Wars or nothing at all. And let's look at this. D-Doc. D-Doc is always busy, guys. We've found out that I'm the old man of the group, as you know, so I don't have this whole thing of chasing kids all the time. D-Doc and Alfie and Brent all have younger kids, so their summers, as Brent and I were just talking about, are swamped. So that is what really has been pulling us back from doing show after show after show. To go along with that, let's face it, a little bit of a dead time for Star Wars right now. And we've talked about getting together, watching Spaceballs. We've talked about talking about Superman and Fantastic Four, all that stuff. But as you can see from us not having a show last week, that really hasn't happened. We're going to do the Steve Glosson way right now and look up Star Wars news. There's a never before seen art celebrates 20 years of Lucasfilm animation. That's going to be happening, it looks like. Hey, Brent is back. We're going to add him back into it.
What's up, y'all? This is T-Bob Abear, and you're listening to the Rule the Galaxy podcast, the best Star Wars podcast on the internet.
That was fun.
Hey, how are you, Joe? Nothing like technology, huh?
We're going to check on
Just
your
to give you a
school's
little.
Wi-Fi.
No, it wasn't the Wi-Fi. So what it is the computer had like zero charge, so I was trying to run off the cord.
Yeah,
But because Eva Mux and using the camera and the microphone and everything was taking too much power, I was using the power faster than the computer was able to save the power. So I scrambled. I am now on my phone. Probably, I don't know if sound is going to be the greatest or not because I don't have headphones or anything.
sounds just the
But I am
same.
in a. Okay, so I'm in the office by myself. So, um, Anyways, yeah. So what were you filling time with there, my friend?
I was just saying how you guys are living a totally different life than me, and how the reasons, one, Star Wars is in a lull, and then two, the
Yeah.
summer is such a crazy mess that we haven't had a chance to really get together very often recently. So I just did like you. I pulled the Steve Dawson way of, I'm going to type in Star Wars news and see what shows up on my phone. Hey, there are. I know it's not a big deal to you. There's a whole bunch of new Lego sets coming out August 1st. An Ewok, K2SO, an
you
ATST.
sir, you sir have I think you and D Doc you guys need some support groups. I think he's pulled you. I think he's pulled you into the dark side here, right? Like the plastic has an addiction to us in any different way, right? Like the war gamers that I know, they could
Mhm.
refer to it as plastic crack, because for whatever reason it is, they always drop something new, and it's always like, I gotta have it. So you finished the Tantive 5, right?
Oh no, I,
4.
I haven't. I finished the Y wing, which is
Okay.
fantastic. I've got the Tanta 4. So Lori, we have a table in the house that Lori does her puzzles on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also the table we do Lego on. So while she's finishing this puzzle, Tanta 4 is sitting there waiting to be done. Then she'll do another puzzle. Then we'll do R2D2. So a lot on the agenda when it comes to that. But man, those new Lego sets in August 1st, I don't know that I'll buy any of them. They don't really hit home like some of these other ones, like R2D2, Rex, Y Wings. Those are my things, right? So I get getting involved with those, but I'm not one that can say, oh, there's 6 sets coming out and I like them all, I'm going to go buy it. That just doesn't, that's just not kind of where I'm going with it. I've become much less a completionist and much more of a, here are the things I really like, and if something comes out related to them, I will get them. But it's not just Star Wars, because Lego has come out with Trevi Fountain Lego set,
Yeah, there's also the Italian
Italian Riviera.
D-Dog, the Italian I can't think of it. The Riviera. There you go.
Yes,
The
yes.
Italian Riviera playset.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, I'm good on, like, I would like to get those because it's something that Lori and I would sit there and do, and it's good because, let's face it, sometimes you get married and older, and for me anyway, the kids are out of the house, so it's like, well, we can watch a lot of TV or we can sit around. And I don't want to get caught in that trap, right? So it's like I want to keep active, but I also want to keep my mind active. So Lego sets actually have been something good. I still haven't wrapped myself around doing puzzles. I can do a puzzle if it's something I like, Captain America or Star Wars, but just a random jigsaw puzzle, I can't focus. So you know me, Brent, can't focus on that stuff.
Here's the thing, though. Just like random puzzles, I'm guessing I'm doing them
Hold
together.
on, you're
Doesn't
breaking up.
that lead to strife?
You're breaking up a
Sorry.
little bit.
Doesn't
Sorry.
that lead to strife? Oh, am
Yeah.
I'm not breaking up on my end.
Well, here, let me shut some stuff down and make sure. And Brent just went to no connection again. So it is again, Joe. Now Brent is back.
All right. I am on the move now, so I'm gonna do.
You going to go
You
to the
gonna go
server
to the
room?
server room? I'm gonna go from outside because the building is the building. So I can get somewhere where I can get good signal. Oh, and I don't have my.
Don't have your phone charger, do you?
No, charger's fine. This is gonna be amazing content.
I'm really liking it because this is something new and different for us. I feel like I'm doing a live interview on some news channel.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna try and get into the dugout of the baseball diamond, so I can get wind or eliminate wind, but be outside so I can get Wi-Fi or
This is
signal.
this is awesome. For people who will watch this on YouTube later, this is fantastic content right here.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? All right, so here we go.
Brent's
It
doing a
worked.
show from a baseball dugout. This is crazy.
Talking about rotating backdrops.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I am so pumped though. You and I have talked about it ourselves, but man, trivia is back in action. We're going to be back doing trivia this fall. I'm excited about that.
I got
I
to get
still,
back into writing the questions. I haven't wrote a
yeah,
question in a while. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, he said he was going to be back in the fall. We'll see what dates they give us, and all of that. So I can't wait for the winter to come because when golfing season stops, at least once a month, I get to have a lot of fun on Fridays. So
I still wish we could figure out a way to make that a true side gig and do like theme nights and stuff like that. I think that would be so fun. I mean, there's so many different nights you could do. My daughter, where she was working, they started doing some theme nights, and everybody would come dressed up and all that. And I thought, man, that would be a blast to do trivia based on that pattern or path.
I absolutely agree with what you're saying. However, I have so much free time on my hands to try to collect those days, and those businesses to support this habit.
Uh-huh.
Um, Being sarcastic, that's the hard part, is actually getting that and scheduling that and getting that taken care of. But
It
I'd
is.
be down. I There's something that I just like inherently have always loved, trivia. Um, I went to, like, when I was growing up, my first job out of college was out in Phoenix, Arizona. There was a bar called George and Dragon, and Thursday nights they did trivia. It was like their programming. It was Wednesday or Thursday, one of the two. Anyway, every day I went. Um, the waitresses got to know me, so I got myself a free apple pie for when I got there. And then, like, when the main owner took off, his brother did it, and then he had me read the answers out, and then I got the hate from whatever the answers they didn't the rest of the bar didn't like the answers. I was like, hey, it's not me. I'm just reading the answers here. So, because they do it a little bit differently than what the way we do it, but yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it's like there's a joy in my heart when you stump somebody or when you get people to start having a conversation and like stress about, I can't remember that. I know what he's talking about. I can't remember. I
And then
love.
you mix music and drinking into it, and it takes it up even another level. I love that.
Well, that you I need you to be my DJ because I have no DJ skills. So
So far, I've only had a few complaints on the songs. The rest of the time, most people have been like, "Okay, I either dig it or that's kind of funky and different." But there's been a few times where I've gotten some thumbs down. But I tried. I tried to mix some weird stuff in there to catch them off guard. But with all
one
the
thing that came
crazy,
to mind though, as
yeah.
I was kind of trying, and honestly, as I was driving and thinking, I think in your last episode, in your solo episode,
Mm,
you mentioned that you thought Galaxy Quest was a better spoof than
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. And I have a hard to disagree with you, but I believe I heard Alfie say on the last episode, that Galaxy Quest was not a spoof movie. It was an actual movie that was taking shots, but it wasn't taking
Yes,
shots. And it was designed to be a great movie with Sigourney Weaver's boobs hanging out. Um, yes, Alfie, I saw the pictures and I listened. And yes, they are fantastic in that movie. Um, and it is a wonderful movie. For anybody that hasn't watched it, they need to watch Galaxy Quest. You got to never give up and never surrender.
that's right.
But Spaceballs has a different, as I think somebody pointed out, Spaceballs has a different purpose. Spaceballs was legitimately, how can I work as many puns and side gags, and like it's like Austin Powers to
Hmm. James
True
Bond.
Lies. I was like, True Lies is kind of like it's a riff on the spy movie, but Austin Powers is totally trying to make, so it's a slightly different genre and slightly different take.
Nope, I got you. And you're right. It is an apples and oranges thing. They are not straight up comparisons. I uh, I just find it's kind of interesting that the one that's more Star Trekky is the one I feel like I connect with better. I like that movie. So
And I will
Spaceballs is
also add
great.
in
Yeah.
Aaron brought in the Orville. And if
Mm,
you have not watched anything from the Orville, it is on Hulu. So if anybody is a Hulu subscriber and hasn't watched the Orville, I cannot recommend that enough. That was a fantastic show. I thought it was going to be more spoofy. I thought it was going to be more Spaceballs going in because it's Seth MacFarlane
right.
and like Family Guy. So I thought, oh hell, this is going to be a Family Guy takedown of the genre, and it turned out to be more Galaxy Quest than Spaceballs. So it is, yes, do they have side gags? Yes. Do they have jokes? Yes. Do they have aliens that are kind of making fun of the aliens from the world? Yeah, but they also take it really serious. They take it more serious, which makes it easier to watch, and it's not as like I said, silly and Spaceballsy. It is definitely worth a watch if you are a fan of Star Trek, if you are a fan of that type in that genre. So I can't plug that one enough.
I will have to check it out. I've never checked out Orville, so it's something that I'll try a little bit and see what it's like. I doubt Lori will want to watch it, so it's one of those ones I'll have to grab on my own.
Yeah.
But I know I'm pumped because some of my favorite streaming shows are coming out with new seasons that will be out this fall. So I'm pumped about that. That's always good. But Lori and I were talking about it. The funny thing is we are such football fanatics that during the summer and during the spring, yes, we love the Cubs and we'll watch games of the Cubs, here or there. But there's 162 of them, and they're at all time of the day and night, whatever. Football, you can build up a regimen, and Lori and I are the kind of couple that if it's Sunday, we're watching football. If it's Thursday night or Monday night, we're watching football. Thursday night, we're watching football, and we're hanging out. We're doing other things, but it's kind of like our thing. So it does knock back those days that we can either watch movies or streaming shows because we really get into and watch a lot of football games. So that's right around the corner. So I'm excited about that. But I was going to ask you. Well, one, we'll talk football in a minute, but I was going to ask you: have you, with all the moving and shaking going on in your life, have you watched anything new? Have you seen any movies? Have you checked out any new shows? Anything like that?
So I'm behind. I watched Welcome to Wrexham, and I
Yeah,
finished up. So I was 2 seasons behind or so. So I've watched like what is it, 16 episodes in the last couple weeks.
yeah,
Because I know the story, right? I kind of follow the story because I'll check it out every now and then. But it's always better to watch them document it, and the way that they do that documentary, it is great television.
it is.
Um, and so I'm getting emotional just now getting into it. Right at the end, McIlerney did like the pep talk
Mm-hmm.
before the final game to get them promoted for the third time. So like in the fourth episode or the season finale. And I'm about a year behind on this, so it's like not like I'm breaking news. But he said he didn't know what to say, so he went out to a friend, and the friend said, and I cried like a baby when he said it. He said something to the effect of they practice like men so they can play like boys. And for whatever reason, that just struck a chord.
Oh yeah,
And so, Welcome to Wrexham was one that I watched quite a bit of. The Bear, I'm a big fan of the Bear, but I'm also like a season behind of that. It is intense uh, family dynamics mixed with the intensity of working in a kitchen, and I feel that it is a dysfunctional chef's kitchen, but yet I can see that happening in a high stress, high pressure environment, and especially with the family dynamics that they have going on, they do a really, I don't know, kind of a good way of making it feel real. So I would say the Bears one that I would have been watching. I wish that I've gotten to
I really wanted to see F1. I really wanted to see Superman. I am not so jazzed about Four. Those are the three big ones or four big ones from the summer. Um, that
Mass is a big fan of the bear. So just to let you know, he loves the bear. He's all caught up on that. Um, I did see F1. I really enjoyed. Lori and I both really enjoyed it. I did not see the new Jurassic movie. I don't know. Even though I'm a big Scarlett Johansson fan, I think I've run my course on the Jurassic movies. I don't know. So
dinosaurs, my friend, dinosaurs. That's
I'll
all I have to
check it out
say.
sometime. I will check
It's
it out.
just like Dustin Hoffman, plastics, dinosaurs.
Um, I saw Superman. I plan on doing a show very soon with Mr. Glosson, and he is a Superman guru, right? Like that's his.
Yes, yeah. Well,
Uh,
he's a pop culture guru, and a pop culture like historian,
yes.
to the max. So,
So
yeah.
he and I are going to talk Superman, and I'm planning on seeing Fantastic Four maybe as early as Sunday. I'm hoping as early as Sunday. And then if I've seen that and he's seen that, we'll do Superman and Fantastic Four both as a discussion point because,
Well,
yeah.
Monday's a work day, so you might want to watch out for that Sunday. Like, you got to be careful to do things on Sunday evening. You might be able to do Sunday day, but not Sunday evening.
That's right, Tom Lyon. I'm calling you out. That was you, Tom
I
Lyon.
knew that's who you were talking about too when you said it.
He knows. I'm just busting his chops. It was just funny. He's like, I don't know. She starts school Monday. I was like, and you're in? So?
And your point being,
No, I love Amy and Tom. They're fantastic. Yeah, so my life is going to be getting very crazy very soon. I've got a trip to Minnesota coming up for work. I've got a trip to Branson, Missouri for work. I should be going to a Cubs game in the next month as well. And then I think 42 days from now, I'll be taking off for Italy. So it is going to be a hectic, crazy time period. I don't know what I'm doing. This is I'm just running Lori through the ringer here. Like over the next 40 to 50 days, it's just nonstop. And so God bless her. She's going to put up with all of it. But yeah, it's just going to be a busy, busy time for Joe. So while you guys all have busy summers and busy lives during this summer, my next month and a half or so is going to be super crazy and hectic. It might be some DDoc or DDoc Brent and Alfie uh, after dark shows for a little while when I'm
yeah,
in and out.
after
So
dark.
yeah, and I have a feeling when the fall kicks in, that's when it's really going to work for you guys because everybody's going to be back in their regimented school structure, everything like that, and you're going to be like, "Let's go, let's light the candle."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you got the daughter that has a cheer schedule that goes all over the place that we have to get readjusted because every year they change the schedule, and then over the summer they go later into the evening. So dad's got to play chaperone to that, or not chaperone, chauffeur was
oh
the word
yeah,
that I wanted to use. He's got to play chauffeur back and forth, and I know you know those days. Um, so that's part of what's gotten me into it. But let's go back. Is there any other Star Wars news that you know of from the StarWars.com? Since now I clearly don't have two computers to look off of.
let's
And
see
you can hear the
again.
weird whacker in the background, I'm sure, and I apologize.
I cannot hear the weed whacker.
Oh, okay,
I
good.
see that George Lucas is going to Comic Con.
Okay.
That's interesting. I think that they said it's his first time.
Is
Uh,
he kind of crawling out of the cave? What color flannel is he gonna have on? Is it gonna
that's
be a gray and yellow? Is it gonna be a red and black? Is it gonna be
I
blue and
think
green?
that's going to be the biggest surprise of anything is his flannel because George pretty much says the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Really. Let's see. A new movie from with Ray we've all talked about is still in development. The Mandalorian Grogu, which may be the first new film in
That's
the
so
trilogy.
cute. That's so
Yes.
cute.
We haven't. I don't know. Did you and I talk about these AI things drive me crazy because now everybody's putting, oh my gosh, did you see this? And they've got somebody, this person's playing this and they've got them done up in that gear or
Oh,
whatever.
you're
I
talking about
can't
like the
stand
fake
it.
AI stories. Okay,
Oh
yeah.
yes.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't. I thought you were talking about the AI generated stormtroopers. That's they're doing like a YouTube show, and they're like, "All
Yes. Well,
right,
those are
so
great.
we're all right, so we're gonna try and steal Vader's lightsaber." Oh shit, he's behind us.
No, all that kind of stuff for entertainment purposes, I am really enjoying. The Vader rap that I sent you guys where he was rapping and had different like Twi'leks and Jedi dancing around him and all that. That stuff's fun. That's all great, but it's the crap where they put storylines that are just
Yeah,
completely made up. It just ticks me off because then you're like, I have to always send it to Alfie. Alfie, is this what's going on here? Nope, not true. Don't worry about it. And it just pisses me off. Sorry, just gets me angry. But
does not
really,
flick your bick.
it does not. I want verified stuff only. I think I'm just gonna start stopping to follow. I don't even know if that I'm gonna stop following people who put that crap out there, so that way I don't get caught up in it. I want to just follow verified stuff to where I know it's real
Good luck.
storylines. Yeah, I know.
Good luck. It's 2025, my friend. Pandora's box has been opened, and you have 20 somethings with time on their hands,
Yeah.
and it has just started. And not even 20 somethings. You have 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds with time on their hands. You have 50-year-olds with time on their hands. They'd be like, hey, what if I did this? That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I did catch, and I don't know, like, are there deleted scenes of? I was just watching something, um, and the tagline for what I watched was, "Why do the deleted scenes from Revenge of the Sith look like a sitcom?" And there was a scene at the lake house with Anakin Skywalker meeting Padme's sister and mom and dad.
Yes,
Is
that is
that
a real one.
real?
That is a real one. Yes.
Okay, because I had never
I,
seen
I'm
that
I'm
before. I don't.
pretty sure that one. Well, I take that back. I know I've seen deleted scenes of her sister and her mom and dad. I'm trying to remember if Anakin was involved with those.
Yeah, because there was a part of the scene was the sister looked at Anakin and is like, "So she's never brought a man around before." And again, like Padme, oh, he's not my guy. He was a Jedi sent to protect as a protector, like just like cutting his balls off, just like she does all the time. The other few times that it happens, in that same episode, like, oh no, 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 we're like he's here, like he was assigned to be here.
I'm jumping into this right now.
Is it on like the special editions, like the
See, I don't
deleted
remember.
scenes and stuff like that? All of, like, because I never dove into all of that like extra stuff.
So I can't verify that him meeting them is real or not. I I have seen the ones where either her parents are involved or her sister, but this one I
Look
can't.
at this party.
Yeah, can't guarantee. Not it's
So,
not my forte.
so I know that there's a lot of Star Wars fans that get into all the deleted scenes and get into all of that type of stuff, but like I never really followed it, and I had never seen that deleted scene or those deleted scenes before. And then there was another one that was it was a deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith, and for whatever reason they were talking about the communicator being broken, and Anakin was like beep beep boop, boop means to go up or it means to go down, and Obi-Wan's like, I sense Dooku above us, and he's like, oh beep beep boop must mean up then. It was the dumbest thing I'd
Um,
ever seen in the world, and there's a reason why it got cut, but like dumb. I think it was an attempt to try to be funny, not funny.
well, because of our internet problems, and because I don't know if me adding in more looking up on other screens or on my phone, this stuff will make it to where we have bad connections. I'm not going to do it during the show, but you can
Oh, you're good.
guarantee after the show, I'm going to look up because I just found the scenes with Anakin meeting her family and father and all that, but I don't know if it's real or not. I'm going to dig into it.
Yeah, it was a I don't know if it was a Facebook reel, Instagram reel, or if it was something that was sent to me or something that I was scouring. I don't know where I found it, but it was all new to me as far
Yeah.
as like I said, I just didn't dive into a lot of the behind the scenes type stuff.
I enjoy that's one of the things I like most about the Star Wars kind of realm is usually in the DVDs and the VHS tapes. In the past they would always put these deleted scenes, and I loved watching that stuff. But I can't guarantee on these, but I'm going to dig into it. And
Right
I'm
with
hearing a lot
AI,
of
you have
feedback.
no idea if they've because like you just look at pictures and you're like, and so now because of the one time that like Alfie and D-Doc were trying to teach you and school you on an image being AI and looking at the hands because they don't do the hands right.
Right.
And like, I keep looking at pictures and looking at the hands and like, is this AI generated? Like, because I don't know either.
No. Yeah, I don't either. I'm the
We're
old
too
man
old.
shouting at
You're
the
older than me,
clouds.
but we're too old. Hey, it must be 8 o'clock.
It is. You have to get going soon, I think. Yeah. Uh,
No, no,
what
no.
else is coming up on
The
your
bells from
agenda?
the church are ringing. So
The
I don't
loveliest
know if
is
you
it
I
St.
don't know if you
Barnabas?
heard that. Like
I
I
did.
hate the fact that my computer died on me. I thought I'd be able to roll off the power, but it wasn't charging.
That's okay. That's all right. I look, you and we've texted and everything like that, but this is the first conversation we've had in probably a month.
I know
So
it's been a while since I've been on and talked about anything Star Wars related, just because of chauffeuring and all that other stuff. So, is there anything else Star Wars related that you can think of news
nah, man.
wise? It looks like you at Comic Con you said you might see some reveals that made me think that you might see another trailer for Grogu.
I
Um,
Yeah, I think the three things are. I mean, obviously, Visions is coming out this fall, which I watch them each once, and then I'm like, okay. I mean, nothing's really stood out to me, but Ahsoka
Yeah, but
season two.
sorry, but this set of visions though, isn't it an extended block of like just two of them? Like the Nine Jedi one, the one from season one, they've made into like an extended cut, and
I
then
would
they
like
I would
that.
like that from season one, the Ronin Jedi Ronin. I think they made it into an extended cut.
That would be fantastic stuff. Those were great shows, so that would
I
be
think those
really
were the
cool.
two that they talked about turning into like extended and longer than 20 minutes or so.
Well, so maybe something of that because it is right around the corner. Ahsoka season two, Mando and Grogu, and what was the other? Oh, Maul. I think if we see a little bit of each of those, we'll be fine. I think we might get Tales of. I'm not sure they ever released stuff before Tales of. They just kind of make an announcement saying we're doing
Right.
Tales of.
And
But
it's usually
yeah,
right around some sort of like well, it was May 4th. I think
yeah,
it'll probably be May 4th every year for a while if they have another set. I'm telling you, they must listen to the podcast because what if I told you would make a great
I
Tales of
blanked.
Takadana,
Ooh, that would be a good
Maz's
one.
Castle.
I'm going to give a shout out to something that I think would be good as well, and I heard it on the Pod of Rebellion, which is Tia Sakar, Taylor Gray, Vanessa Marshall from Rebels. They are covering each episode of Rebels, and it's a really fun show. They had Ashley Eckstein on, they had James Arnold Taylor on. I think that I missed the Freddie Prince. I can't remember if he came on or not, but they talked about wouldn't it be great if they did a Tales of the Rebels and they did how Zeb and how
How they
um,
collected them?
yes, how they put them on. Now I know
Yeah,
the
because
book;
they
it's a
talk
little
a
bit,
little bit about
yeah,
so the whole what is it, A New Dawn, the book
yeah,
The New Dawn. They talk about how Hera and Kanan get together, but
yeah.
they never really give you an idea. And they talk about collecting Ezra, and so between A New Dawn and the Rebels, you have no idea how Zeb and Sabine get kind of recruited. I would
Yep,
like to know because Sabine has an interesting background.
yep.
She was once in the Rebel or the Imperial Academy as a pilot, and then took off to be an artist or something like that, and then got picked up by
I
Hera,
think
which
she had that problem with the Empire, so she ran off, right? Where she made that the weapon, and
she
then
made the
yeah,
weapon. Yep.
yep. So, but I thought that was a great one. But yours, Tales of Takadana would be fantastic.
I've been saying that
Um,
for a while because I think it's like, how do you like? You could put in bounty hunters, you could put in
yep.
stories. It's like almost like Tales of the Cantina as well. Like it's another good one. Like you could talk about Doctor
Oh,
Evazan and how like some of his backstory. You could talk about like you could talk about Max Rebo. Not they're not in that one. You could talk about like the Bith band, which always scared me as a child.
yep.
Or like the praying mantis. Like what? Who the
Oof.
hell that praying mantis person was that was in the background? Like there's ways that you could like pull out different background characters and kind of give them a story, or do like a 20-minute little blurb.
They they did in the 90s Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales of Star of the Cantina, and Tales
Right.
of the Empire, where it was short snippet stories of characters from those. I am all for that. You want to do Takadana, you want to do Jabba's palace, you want to do the
Right.
cantina. You could
Right.
do. I mean, that would be
And it's
fantastic.
and instead of doing it as like a 3 episode arc of their
Mm-hmm.
stories, you could do 6 different episodes
Yep.
of 6 different people.
Just 10 minutes on each one of them to give you a background. That's
Yeah.
that's all you need. You know,
And then
we're in the
like give them a
TikTok
little
world.
adventure, and then like have them all kind of end up in this like they either start at the cantina or they end at the cantina.
Oh, that
Like
yes.
yeah. So like that's how they got there. It's I mean it's not. I'm trying to think of movies. There are movies that do that type of thing where you'll start they usually start with the end now, and
Yes.
then they'll show you how they got there. So you show them at the end, but then they show you how you got how like give them a little 10-15 minute little adventure to how they got there, and no one knows it but that person that's standing there. Right?
Y-
It's a way to give you an idea of like everybody has different experiences, but they come together and chat it
Brent,
out.
you just blew my mind because one, you could do it that way for Takadana and the Cantina and Jabba's Palace, where they all end up at the same place, like leading
Yeah.
up to that. Then think about if you do the Death Star scene from A New Hope, all those Imperials that are around that table, you do a quick little blurb of them, and then they're
Oh
all in that
yeah.
room together.
That'd be
And
a good
then
one too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
the
like, who the
rebels,
hell is the guy that said
correct.
your sad devotion to that sorcerer's ways have not given you clairvoyance enough to find the rebels hidden? Whatever
Uh,
it is. I know I butchered it, but I was pretty close.
no, but you take that and you take Return of the Jedi, where all the rebels come into that meeting room with Mon Mothma. You got
Mm,
Maydeen, you got all those different guys who just show up, and you
hmm
do a quick boom, and they're all in that room together. I love that.
I mean, like Akbar too. Like, what? Like, I
Yes.
get it. He was like the general, but like, other than it's a crop. What? Give me some Akbar. Give me some Akbar backstory. I know that they threw him into part of the Aqualish versus the
Mm-hmm.
Quarren fight on the Clone Wars.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
give me a little bit more. Like, give me some of his like I don't know. Give me some of his highlights of battles or things that they've won as a Rebel pilot. Um, because in Rebels, who's the guy that leads the Rebels? It's not Akbar.
No, it's
Uh,
Sato.
what is Sato?
Yeah, Sato was the guy who he finally died, right? He blew up his
I
ship.
I can't remember. I just know that it wasn't Akbar, but he was kind of like he was the contact point for all of them. Like
Yeah.
he seemed to be like the one that was like the rallying cry because they would go to the meeting and he would be kind of running the briefing with everybody in Hollow and all of that.
Dude, you could even do this is I'm going way off here, but you could do things like Tales of the Senate and have little quick 10-minute storylines leading into all of them walking into the Senate together.
Right. You could
Um,
have little ETs. You could have like all the little ET
dude.
guys and have like a story from the ET guys. You could have like I don't know, were the Ewoks in the Senate? You could have like a little murder bears Ewoks.
Dude, we are all over the place, but we've created about 10 seasons worth of Tales of for Lucasfilm. That's
I
fantastic.
I mean, yeah.
We don't have to worry about Alfie commenting on this because he never listens to the show. But I think he would like
at,
these ideas.
at the same time, like I don't see them doing any of these because the return on investment, like they need to get a return on investment at this point, and uh, streaming is dead, which is the whole thing. The lack of Emmy nominations, I think, is
Oh,
something that we could probably also mention and talk about. It was the fact that acting wise, Andor was looked over, and it's got a couple. I think like sound or something. Like I don't know what actually they were given.
you know what cracks me up is 9 times out of 10, I don't see the movies that win the Oscars because their
Yeah,
movies
right.
the movies are on like 3,000 screens, and five 10,000 people have seen the movie,
Right.
and yet they're, oh, look at the acting, it's so great. But then you take a show like Andor that was not seen on the mainstream, right?
Mhm.
It was not. Alfie's shown us, and I've re-looked up the top 20 streaming things of 2025. It's not even in those lists. So it's like, but that's exactly what they do at the Oscars. Why don't they do that with the Emmys? Because it's that same kind of feel to it. You've got, I mean, how good in season one was Luthen? How good in season two was Kalea? How good was Diego Luna as Andor across the whole thing? His arc and his acting. I mean, there was some great stuff in all these, and it's a bummer, but I guess they just do it differently. It's almost a popularity contest and with,
It
with
is
the
like,
Emmy stuff.
essentially that's what I was gonna go to. There's a whole like you have to submit files, you have to submit who you want to be in it. It could be that they missed a deadline or didn't care enough to submit that. There's a whole host of reasons as to why. Um, so I'll go to like the Oscars. There was Halle Berry. Halle Berry was nominated for Dorothy Dandridge, and almost everybody thought she would win for playing that portrayal of that character. But she won for Monsters Ball, which I thought was kind of just but happened to be, oh, wait, the year after
Yeah.
Dorothy Dandridge, right? Like, I mean, so it was kind of like, all right. And they thought that Leonardo DiCaprio was going to win for some of the stuff that he's done, and like has never actually like came to fruition because of the stuff that he did anyways.
No.
And like Peter Jackson even said it too, um with the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He was like he did all of these press tours on the first one because he was being nominated, and like, okay, when it came to the second, didn't win anything, right? But he kept on going, and so then the second one came out, and he like refused to do the press tour for it because he's like, no. And then like the third one, he's like, I'm not going to do the press tour. But they were just waiting for the third one to come out to give him as many as like his, what was it, 13 or 15 awards or something like that for Lord of the Rings. So anyways, it's like there is a political nature to it,
uh,
unfortunately.
it's a bummer. It is a bummer because is it my favorite Star Wars of all time? No. But is it really good Star Wars? Yes. It was a really good show.
It's a
Um,
good show.
yes.
I'm still on the fence on like I understand the argument that this isn't Star Wars, that it
Yes.
could be still a sci-fi show. You just have somebody who the writers throw in, hey, let's throw the name of Alderaan in, and let's throw in
Yeah.
a couple astromechs, and let's throw in Cassidy Andor and Mon Mothma, and we'll call it Star Wars, right? Like you can change those names, and I think it's still a good movie, a good show.
Yeah.
Um, but
I've talked about it, and when I did my review show with Mark Newbold and Fan of the Tracks, I was like, you could almost take this and put it pre World War One or pre World War Two. Take out the Star Wars blasters, take out the astromechs,
mm,
right? And it would have worked
yep,
if you would if changed some dialogue. It would have worked with the same kind of storyline for either one of those because it was just
yeah.
a good story. Yeah.
You when you said pre-World War, pre-World War Two, it reminded me of something that I heard on Roast Radio, and I'm gonna butcher all of it. But they were talking about in my lifetime, they were talking about comparing. I've always compared the Empire to World War Two and
Mm-hmm.
Nazism, but as they started talking, they kind of compared it to World War One, and I'm not sure exactly where it was at, but like the people fighting for what they believe in on both sides, that it was more of a World War One type, and that when you got to the New World Order, the First Order,
Yeah.
that's where the Nazism came in.
I
Um,
I can see that. And, looking back, and I know George was a radical, hippie guy or whatever, and it was all about Vietnam and US
right.
was look, he can say what he wants, but the mirror images and everything, you're right. It does face much more World War One, World War Two than the Vietnam. I mean,
Yeah, and so I just don't have enough knowledge to make that comparison. I thought it was interesting just to sit there and chew on a little bit of like Huh? Because all I know of World War One is like the trench warfare and not
Hmm.
much else other than trench warfare. It's about all I got. Like I didn't do any studying. Like everyone focuses on World War Two, which when I was a kid is I was trying to do the math the other day. From my life to
Mm.
World War Two is like my daughter, who is now a
Oh
seventh
yeah,
grader,
yeah,
to Vietnam. I
yeah.
think that's like Vietnam is as close to her as World War Two was to me, which
I
I thought
think
was
I think it's everything's a lot closer than we think it was
right.
because I was alive at the end of Vietnam.
Right.
World War One or World War Two ended 26 years before I was born.
Right.
Now,
Just 20 years.
yeah, 20 some odd years. You look,
And it
you're
feels
like
like you
that
look at the
doesn't make
videos, you
sense.
look at the documentaries, and you feel like it's like 150 years ago.
Exactly. So we all think that, but you're right, and the similarities to where something bad happened, it went through World War One, you thought that was it, and then boom, 30 years later, we're going through a similar thing again in World War Two, like the
And
first order.
that kind of is what like if you follow the plan, right, or if you follow what's going on, you break up and you destroy and break apart the empire. So at the end of World War One, they broke up and tried to dismantle Germany.
Yep.
So you break up the empire, but those empire are they're all in little pockets, and those they get back together to form something a little bit more sinister and a little bit more evil.
Yep.
And yes, I know it's like Alfie wants to know where it came from, but if you think of it as the if you think of it in a historical context of World War One to World War Two, it kind of makes sense that those people would then build up and be basically the same as what they were because
It does.
they didn't get what they wanted,
I,
they got broken, and now they have a stronger resolve and a little bit more strength to try to carry out what they wanted to do.
I think as much as we're throwing the meat on the bone, and we talk about it all the time, your sweet spot between Revenge of the Sith and Star Wars, where the rebellion's building up, I think it's in Star Wars' best interest to use that 30 years between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens to show exactly what you're saying. It would be great to have stories that build, that make it to where people go, I get it. Oh, this is where they were hidden. They were behind the scenes. They were putting something together. It's a long game, not the short game. I think that would be great.
I think Mandalorian is trying, but I
Yeah.
don't know if this Mandalorian and Grogu is going to do that. But I think season, like what was it, season three of Mandalorian,
Yeah.
the end of season three
100%.
was trying because you had the picture of the Shadow Council, you had cloning, you had Moff Gideon having 900 clones of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you had some of that leaning towards that the nuggets of building that remnant back into the first for the first order, but it's like they kind of came out of nowhere. I get that part too. So like and they I don't want to get into it because we can talk for
No,
days
no,
about it,
no.
but it's like it's just that they had so much potential with that first one to take it and continue it with that Nazi, and then they just turned
Yeah.
them into cartoons.
Nope. Agreed. And I think that's what's you talk about dividing the fans. There's some people who are like, no, these are great. This is good. And I went, you know what I did? I went and watched The Last Jedi again the other day. I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? I give it so much grief. I'm going to watch it. And I watched it. It's not bad. It's just not great.
It's
It's just,
right.
it's, yeah.
It's not what I wanted. It's not like it's not the Luke. It's not the characterization that I have of Luke. I think that's the strongest. Other aspects of it, I wish they would have put time in between it and didn't just pick it
Yes.
up right where it left off. I wish there would have been a 3 to 5 year block to where you could assume growth, where now you have a little bit more time and a hermit Luke becomes a little bit more acceptable because we are been searching for now 15 to 20 years for him,
Yeah.
and so a hermit Luke is acceptable. But I think the characterization of Luke, and I'll say it, and I've said it before. I think when Mark Hamill went on, and they played a soundbite of him recently, when Mark Hamill went on the talk shows and said that this isn't Luke Skywalker, I had to call him Jake Skywalker. That gave the fans a floodgate to hate everything that came after that.
It's,
That gave permission for the fans to hate on it. And so somebody he did a junket for, I don't know, for a movie or maybe Lego, I don't know what he was doing, but the soundbite said that no, he's a good director. I had some questions about the motivations, but
mm-hmm.
like on set he was creative, he was fun, he was easy to work with, and I think it was disingenuous of me to go out and say that this was Jake Skywalker, because he even recognized that, like, him saying that was a catalyst for the fan community to bash.
Dude, it's something that I'm going to hope when Frankie and Teddy are teenagers, we can sit and go, okay, this makes more sense now. Until then, right now, we're just going to go, I all Star Wars is Star Wars. That's my
Right.
lifelong thing. I just think there's a lot either missing or that can be filled in to make it better. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to be that
And it,
continual optimist.
and if you give it a 2 to 3 year buffer, then you have room to put those stories in.
Yep.
But
So you know what? We filled them with all kinds of tales of. I'm going to put that list together and post it on Twitter. I'm going to say, hey, dear Lucasfilm, here's what we want to see. And then you and I are just going to sit back and wait for the next round of stuff to come out. That's how it's going to work. But
yeah,
we got a lot going on. We got trivia coming up. We got me
Gen
being
Con
super busy. You're going to go to that. When is that?
next week. So
Oh,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
okay.
4 days of Nerd Fest in Indianapolis. There'll be about 70 to 80,000 nerds running around downtown. There are 3 to 4 hotels, the convention center, and Lucas Oil Stadium that will be filled with just folks.
I need video and pictures. That's all I ask. Video and
Well, I'm going
pictures.
to be playing a game called Blood Bowl, which is basically
I know
fantasy
the one.
football.
Yeah.
That one, so I'm playing in
Taylor
that one.
Swift.
Then Star Wars. Oh yes, yeah, I got Taylor
Yeah.
Swift as my coach. And then did I tell you that? Oh, I think I might have told you guys the team names.
Yes.
Like, yeah, my players for my team. And then Star Wars, and then there's a game Halo, the video game. They've turned into a tabletop game, so
Man.
they're actually having events with Halo. So I've played it a couple times and enjoyed it. So
Well, you go and do all that. I can't wait to see pictures, videos, everything like that. I think I'm in town. I'm in town next week, so I'm good. So next week D-Doc should be back. We should be able to do a live show with everybody back together.
if I can make it,
You'll all be back in school and all that kind of craziness.
yeah.
So
I
we'll do
no,
that.
D Doc won't be. They're on the
Uh,
traditional schedule. They won't go back to like after Labor Day.
so he's probably got 3 more vacations planned between now and next week.
Absolutely, he does. I am jealous of that man's life right now.
Oh man! All right, and he's
The
becoming
the three
famous
little
on you.
ones, not so much, but like the just the time.
Yes. Well, you and I have been promising to talk, so I'm glad we did. We need to get together and grab a bite or a drink and hang out and spend some more time together before we all I get more crazy. But I'm glad things are getting organized for you and that structure will be back in there soon.
Send me a day and I'll put it on the calendar and hopefully it works.
You got it, brother. Thanks for taking the time this morning and doing this.
Yeah, no worries. I
And
love it.
for all of you who've listened or watched, can't thank you enough for putting up with this crazy one. Rule the Galaxy. Here we are. Follow us, like us, subscribe to us, YouTube, podcast platform of choice, emails from rulethe@gmail.com. And until next time, may the force be with you.